What is up, guys? COD gameplay here, and today I have a match on Dome in Domination, and I get a Moab with the P90. I'd have to say that Dome is not the easiest map to get a Moab on. The reasoning? Well, because there's just so much random stuff that could go on and happen, okay? Dome, you're just turning a corner and bam, random nade across the map, they toss it through 3 windows, bounces off a ledge, hits the wall, bounces back, and kills you. The chances of like just the most random things in the world happening to you on Dome is just so common, and it pisses me off, I have to say. It like gets me so angry if I'm like on a Moab streak and then all of a sudden I die. I'm like, that was not my fault. The guy spawned literally right beside me. But anyways, my topic for today, which said to me by Give Me My Money, is freshman tips. The reasoning, well, I just finished high school. I finished my last exam. My English provincial was 40% of my grade for English yesterday. And now today I am completely done. Everything. I never have to go back to my school again. And that's really freaky. It's kind of weird, actually. But now that I've gone through high school, I have some tips and probably some help for all the other people going into high school. Now, I know probably the average viewer of my channel is anywhere from 12 to maybe 18. So if you're 12, you would be probably in grade like 7, 8. And so you're probably either going into high school pretty soon, or if not, you're going into high school like very, very shortly. So these tips can probably help you a little bit, but the main thing that you really need to focus on while in high school is you need to be yourself, okay? With all of the things going on in high school, lots of people get pressured into just not being their self, and that's probably the worst thing that you could do. Being fake will never ever get you anywhere, and I can promise you that. If you be yourself, your high school probably has anywhere from, I don't know, 500 to 2,000 people in it. My high school had 1,500 people in it, so obviously I'm gonna find at least one person that has a similar interests as me. If you join clubs, sports teams, you're gonna find even more people that you're in, like, that have the exact same interests as you. But if you're going straight into high school, I'd say the first thing that you want to do is be outgoing. When you first get into that first class of high school, everyone is so awkward. Everyone is just like, okay, I know maybe a couple people coming from high school. Maybe there was 2 middle schools and they combine going into one high school. And you start like sticking with your like close buddies from like last year, and everyone's so conservative. I remember those first days. Oh my goodness. And everyone's awkward, but you need to try your best to be outgoing, because if you're outgoing, that's like the best you can do. Everyone loves an outgoing character, and no one really like enjoys someone super shy. You go up to them, you say, "How's it going?" and they're like, hi. Like, no, you have to learn to try to work outside the shell, because once you do, so many more doors will open. And so another thing is when you're sitting down in a class. Depending on what type of person you are and what you want to get in a class is pretty much determined where you sit. Me, I usually sat in the back of the class. So it's usually the front is like all the people that pay attention. They don't want anyone talking to them at all. The front of the class. Middle of the class is usually maybe people that couldn't get to the back of the class or couldn't get to the front of the class. Then the back of the class is everyone that just talks. They don't really care that much. Sometimes they do, but they just talk a lot, and they don't want the teacher to hear them as much, see them as much, so they sit in the back of the class. Me, depending on the class, is where I sat. Sometimes I was in the front of the class, sometimes I was in the back of the class. Most of the time, I was in the back. And looking back, probably the best thing that I could have done was sit in the very front, because in the very front, you never miss one thing. How many times do you take a test, and you're like, oh shit, I swear I have never learned this in my life. He never taught this. Give me a break. After the test, you'd like ask the teacher, okay, this question, we never learned it. He's like, oh no, I explained it like for like a minute during a class. If you were paying attention, you would have known. And you're like, oh, fuck, that's awkward. And then you're just like, okay, well, at least it was only 1 mark. But you need to, when going to high school, another thing that you need to do is balance everything. So you're gonna have social life, you're gonna have academics, and then you're gonna have like sleep. Those are the 3 things you're gonna have to balance. And going to high school, you probably haven't learned to balance those things yet. Most likely, you haven't like done a whole bunch of studying, because once you get in high school, the studying gets turned up a lot. Grade 9, at the very beginning of high school, it doesn't even matter. Grade 10 barely even matters. All that matters is grade 11 and 12. Barely even 11. But if you do everything correctly, you can make it so your grade 12 year is a lot easier. For me, my grade 12 year was absolutely ridiculously hard, and I ended up clutching it. Thank God. I had to try so hard in this last year. It was unbelievable. But like I was saying, you need to be able to balance social life, sleeping, and academics. Now, chances are it's going to be very, very difficult. If you're joining sports teams, clubs, you're trying to get good grades, and maybe you have a girlfriend, and maybe you're also trying to hang out with friends. It's really, really difficult. Now, if you want, usually you're going to have to sacrifice at least one thing. If you're going to want sleep and academics, good grades, you're probably going to have to sacrifice a little bit of social life. If you're going to want to get lots of sleep and maybe good social life, you're going to have to maybe sacrifice a little bit of academics. And if you're going to want both academics and social life, chances are you're going to be sacrificing on sleep quite a bit. In the last semester, I probably slept for, on average, 5 hours per night. Every single day, 5 hours. So in a week, I'd maybe get 40 hours of sleep. And that's pretty draining, if you ask me. But in the end, it was worth it. And you learn through high school what you do and you don't, because there's things that you don't do. Also, one thing: be nice to everybody and never hold a grudge. Okay, it's freaking high school. Okay, you're still a kid. There's lots of time to live, okay? Do not hold any grudges, okay? That's probably the worst thing that you can do. Me, I walk through the hallways, and I know everyone, right? And you always say hi to everyone, and just be an outgoing character, be nice to everyone, and everyone will like you. It doesn't matter if you're popular, if you're not popular, if you're nice to everyone, everyone will like you. It doesn't matter. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you guys liked it. If you do, give it a like, and if you guys might need it in the future, if you guys are going to high school later, save it as your favorite so you can go back and maybe watch it again before the school semester starts. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.